Hello folks. Well, Thanksgiving has just passed and I've got a lot to be thankful for. First off, my wife, the kitties, and myself are still alive. And we're also thankful for my daughter, Tanya, who, even after her surgery, took time off from work to travel from Denver right after the fire to come up and help us while we were still in shock. We've now moved into our new home and life is beginning to settle down for us. And besides being thankful for having the homeowner's insurance that helped a lot, I'm also very thankful from the bottom of my heart for the amazing, generous subscribers and folks who donated models, money, food, and with unbelievable support. And just to let you know, it really is impossible for me to comment on all the wonderful comments that all of you left, or to reach out to each person that donated items on the GoFundMe account that my daughter set up for us to help offset the loss we had that the insurance didn't cover. You know, people like Adam Patali, David Orr, Tom Reams, Brian Thomas, Mrs. Paul Slauson, Justin Depew, Jason Ubery, Jason Hunt, my nephews, my sister Debbie, the one lonely farmer, Dick Shin, Lieutenant Colonel Borton, Jeff Martin, and many others that donated items that just blew me away. And they knew just what I needed, like a soldering station, battery chargers, connectors, all sorts of tools, servos, wires, receivers, batteries, models, helicopters, starters, fuel pumps, Marine Corps uniforms, quadcopters, just all kinds of stuff, just much more. And it just blows my mind that they've made it impossible now for me to give up because I got all this stuff. Even my son-in-law Gene Cox had just come up this weekend and built me a brand new workbench in my new garage, and now I have a place to work too. So I must admit, with my previous models and all the equipment that was destroyed, everybody knew just what I needed, and especially the encouragement, because I was pretty depressed for a while. Well, this experience has really humbled me, and I wish I could thank each and every one of you personally. I even received a brand new storm launcher, one of my favorite models, in the box. And GearBest is even sending me an FPV racing quad. Oh no. Yeah. And others too. So you can expect to see some videos as we settle into the winter here. Many of you did so anonymously. And you also left me no email or phone numbers, so I do hope you get this message and know again that I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm not going to give up, especially since you've been so gracious. So let's start this video by showing a helicopter I received from the gang at NightFlyers. You saw a bit of it in my last video, but to be fair, I want to show you one of the mods I made to make it inverted fly a little better. So here we go. Thank you, folks.
So when you're flying over here and something goes wrong or you crash or something, you just cannot get to that switch fast enough. Where this hand, you can easily get to this switch over here. So what I'm going to do is switch this switch and this switch. So that's easy enough. We'll just open it up and I'll show you how to do that. I prefer the invert switch over here. These are 5/64 Allen screws, this transmitter. So make sure you have the right kind of Allen wrench. So I've switched to two switches now, and now all I have to do is run these wires to that switch, these wires to this switch, and I've drawn which way they go, so they're both the same. And you want to make sure your switches are in the right position. So this will be a little labor intense, but luckily I got a great new soldering iron and a small heat gun, so I can heat shrink these things, and we're going to put some extensions on there. Heat shrink over them and heat those babies up. This is absolutely the coolest, and it shuts off when you put it. Okay, the next thing that I found is there is just too much pitch on the bottom end. So when you roll this thing upside down and you go to your reverse pitch, there's too much pitch in the blade and it stalls the motor, and it doesn't do a good job of coming down. It's too tight. So the only way that I could decrease that pitch on the movement on that is, while you can adjust this pot right here, decrease this pot by turning it counterclockwise, and that makes all the servos move less. Problem is, when you're flying 3D, then there's not enough to turn it over. It needs to be more maximum. The second way to do it is the way I did it. I mean, you could also shorten these arms, but they're already screwed in as far as they would go, so that's kind of hard to do. You can shorten the arms on the servos, or you could shorten the arms on this. And so that's exactly how I did it. I shortened these by 2 turns. Okay, if you shorten these by 2 turns, this will get your pitch lined up the right way. Let's go ahead and try it. That's just right.